Okay, thanks so much, guys. And we've been talking about the winter blues here on GMT, and it can be debilitating, taking you away from enjoying your life and your family, but this is especially true for military spouses, enjoying time at home for the holidays, only to be deployed once again to active duty. And my next couple knows this all too well. These are veterans Nick and Stacy Keat, husband and wife. They know the pain of going through deployment and being home for some R&R and then leaving to active duty again, and they're here to share their story. Guys, how are you today? Let's start with you, Stacy. You enlisted in 1999. Yes. You were part of DFW's task force after 9/11. That's where you and Nick met, right? Yes. Got married, had a son. You've been active duty since 99 as well, is that right?
In and out of active duty.
In and out of active duty. So, Stacy, we often think of military spouses as being the wives that are at home and the men who are deployed, but you both are active duty, so you both have done your deployments. You had a 15-month-old son when you were called overseas for about 15 months, is that right?
Yes.
Walk us through what that is like for those who have never gone through something like this.
It was a challenge for me. I was a first-time mom, and so, you know, you have all these expectations when you're a first-time mom and, you know, getting to be there for all the firsts. And it was kind of a shock for me and hard when I had to leave when he was 15 months. While I was gone, the family was really good about sending me pictures and everything, but at the same time it was difficult to look at him in pictures and realizing I'm missing all those firsts that he was doing.
How was it even just to board that plane, to leave and know that you'd be gone for over a year, missing between 15 months and 3 years essentially?
That was really hard for me, and to be honest, it was even more difficult when I came home on leave and then had to leave that second time, because I came home to this child that was 6 months older and he had changed so much. And I remember when I came home at the airport and I walked around that corner and there was this group of individuals everywhere, and of course I zeroed in on my boys right there and saw them, and my heart just like jumped. And I was so excited and I couldn't stop crying and dropped my bags, and my son just kept touching my face and he just kept looking at me in shock, you know, not really realizing his mom's really there. And then when I left, it was harder than when I'd gone the first time.
Sure, I'm sure.
Because he'd been without me for a little while already. And he clung to me, he screamed and he cried. And then when I had to finally hand him over to my husband because we were in line to board the plane, he was just screaming and reaching for me. And I finally hit the point where I had to just take a deep breath and turn my back and get on the plane.
Gosh, I mean, the ultimate service for our country. I mean, and how is it to be the spouse that's left behind? I mean, knowing that your son's suffering, obviously you are as well, to know she's not coming back for a year.
Yeah, it was actually a little longer than a year. And you know, we try to prepare and get financially ready and get all of our paperwork ready, but you never expect to be the sole parent. Yeah. Especially in a marriage, you know. It was hard. I was working probably 12 to 16 hours a day when she went on deployment, and we were very fortunate to have a good family that backed us. And we ended up actually building a house while she was gone and moving from the north side of Dallas to the south side.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on in 18 months she was gone. It was a very, very interesting time.
I can't imagine. I know that you are still in active duty. You just came back from a deployment.
Came back, yes, ma'am.
How long were you gone for?
This last time it was just under 12 months.
Oh my gosh! And you just got back in December?
No, ma'am, September.
September. Okay. Where were you?
I was on Operation Enduring Freedom, but we were in Africa.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you were gone for that long. So what's life like on the other side now? Your son's how old now?
He's 8.
He's 8. So how does he feel about Dad being gone for such a long stretch of time now?
It's definitely a difference between some of the other deployments we've had in the past, because he has a better understanding of what's going on. Sure. And it's really all about open communication with them, making sure they're, as soon as we knew, we told him so that we could begin preparing him for the deployment. And letting them know that it's okay to be sad, it's okay to be angry, and talking with them and letting them know that you're sad too and crying with them.
Okay, and I know now you help so many women who are coming back with an organization called Grace After Fire. You help these women get jobs, deal with the strains and slings and arrow of being now a civilian after being in active duty. What kind of things do you tell other men and women when they come back?
It really depends on their specific circumstances, but being there and having that shared knowledge that we've been through the same thing as a parent on a deployment helps. So we do a lot of peer-to-peer and one-on-one because it is so helpful to be able to share your experiences with someone that really understands what you've gone through.
Wow, we here at GMT salute both of you for your service that you've done to our country and for helping other men and women coming back from those deployments, dealing with those holiday blues, which I'm sure must be tough. Guys, thanks so much for being here today. All right, next up, we're beating the winter blues with comfort food. We're going to feed you guys after this. Celebrity chef Kent Rathman is in the house.